All right. Good afternoon. You're welcome to the buzz. It's so exciting to be here again. And of course, today we are talking about the country, about the nation, and of course, way to move forward. My name is Rose Blossom. We're streaming on platforms, and you can actually subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channels at Galaxy Television News, Galaxy TV News, and Galaxy Television. We also have Galaxy TV Entertainment. You can also like, subscribe, and share. We have a lot going on there, and you do not want to miss. Anyways, before we start introducing my guest, I want to let us go on a short break, and right after the short break, I will introduce the guest we have today, and of course, we get talking about our topics today. So welcome back. Okay, like I said, we have Mazi Chinedum Obiora. I'm very sure you know him. He's a very regular guest on Tuesday. He's a retired banker and a chartered administrator. I'm going to add this one. He's a public analyst. In fact, he's an analyst. He's a social commentator. Because once you see anyone on this table, believe you me, they are one of the best analysts you could get anywhere in Nigeria. Welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you again.
Thank you very much.
I think it's been a long time we've sat on the table like this.
Yeah, about 3 weeks a month now. I've been away.
Yeah.
I lost my wife last year, and this week has been so terrible for me. Before then, I've been away in the East doing what I'm not doing.
That's it?
Yeah, sister stations.
You know.
They asked me to tell you that you should be releasing me from time to time.
From time to time.
Chris, my pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Okay, everything is all welcome. Yes, and my second guest is Chris, like you heard, Asulumi. He is a social commentator and also a public analyst. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yeah, it's good having me again.
It's good to have you.
I'm sure.
Yes, thank you very much. And I know last week you were not able to come because of your son, but hope he's doing good right now.
Yeah, it's fine now. For about a week, I was admitted at Lasuts, and then came across a lot of stuff. I think a lot of something to be done
in our medical
sector. The lacuna, well, they did well in some aspects, but in some other aspect, it was horrible.
Wow. You know, when you told me the hospital, I was like, what? I'm like, well, I wish you all the best. So you just have to be there if you want a spontaneous response. Anyways, let's just get cracking. The first one we're talking about is Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 33.4 in July. That is what NBS says. And I'm just going to read a short synopsis of it about the story. And this one says, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has redrawn the controversial... Okay, sorry, that's the wrong one. The newly published report by the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, has indicated a decline in Nigeria's headline inflation rate to 33.40% in July 2024 from 34.19% in June 2024. The development marks the first since December 2022, when it dropped to 21.34%. According to the Bureau's Consumer Price Index report for July 2024, the headline inflation rate decreased by 0.79%. And a breakdown of the figures showed that a year-on-year basis, the rate was at 9.32%, point higher than in July 2023, when it stood at 24.08%. This indicates that an increase in the headline inflation rate on a year-on-year basis for July 2024 compared to the same month in the previous year. So this year, according to them, is a bit better than last year. So what's your take about? Do you actually feel anything is coming down or going high? For me, I feel like it's the same thing. I don't know. It's just, some people say it's just numbers. It's just the mathematics. But yes, it just feels like the same thing. Mazi, what's your say?
Yeah, once again, thank you for having me. Honestly, let me ask you this question. Is this something to celebrate about? Please do answer me now. Is this something to celebrate about? That we are celebrating that it dropped from 34% to 33%, and we are clapping our hands. To me, it doesn't matter anything. As long as there's still food, there's scarcity in the country, as far as the average Nigerian cannot go to the market and buy a bag of rice at between 25 and 30,000. As long as the price of essential commodity remains unreachable, There's something to celebrate about. Honestly, you talked about the corresponding years before. And you from 24, 30, 33, 34, 35, and we are now saying it dropped. There's nothing to me to write about it. Significantly, maybe some paper, whatever. Otherwise, whether we like it or not, the truth. Nigerians, the masses, not going to say that the inflation has dropped. Let us go to the markets and buy things at a very reduced price. Let us go to the market with a 30,000 naira as it were in those days and buy things to feed your family. You are a lady. So that when your husband whosoever gives you 10,000 naira or 5,000 naira, you will make a good pot of soup with your children. Let us say a situation where you go to the filling station and buy fuel at reduced price. Let us say a situation where I will not simply go to my and burn a pot of 30,000 naira or 25,000 naira or something like that. Otherwise, to we people, the masses, is something we should not celebrate about.
Wait, you just said something now that strikes me. So you mean, how much is now a bus fare to Abia State?
It varies now, 35, 40, 45.
Okay, because I thought you were saying they should start saying it's 35. So I'm like, is that not already expensive at 35?
No, now I came last Saturday and I paid 35,000. Travel thing on what they paid. It depends on the transport. Company. 35, 40, 45. Wow. Presently. Wow. Now, do you know what happened? If you are enjoying food here, but those of us in the east, do you know, even before I left the east, fuel was sold for 1,200 and 1,150. And you are buying it at 800 now, you are complaining. Go to the east and see what was happening. So when you are talking about the fuel, the inflation being dropped, it doesn't concern average Nigerian unless they see something significant on the type of food. Things can go. How much is the cost of a sachet water now? How much is it? How much? You say minimum wage is 70,000 naira. Why a bag of rice is how much? My God help us. So it can't have. Look, some of my nephew traveled to Adokiti for screening. You know how much he paid for my over there? He paid 10,000 naira. And when he got to the Federal University of Adokiti, and he said there's no fare, transport fare, less than 400, 1,000. So you see, you're talking about inflation being reduced. It's nothing until we see it practically, and we see that we can close our eyes, sleep with our two eyes closed, and we begin to say yes. Because this government, we'll talk about it.
Anyway, thank you very much for that one. Let me hear from you, Chris.
Okay, at the risk of being rhetorical, we got here with the unplanned removal of subsidy. And Nigeria is a petrol-based economy. And of course that affected everything. Everything went skyrocketed and all of that. And then unfortunately too, there was a slow implementation of intervention to arrest the situation at that point. And then things were really bad. Well, it has really been very, very bad. I mean, I was discussing with my wife, was it yesterday night or this morning? And then my son in Rowan University, we pay 500,000 plus for school fees. It's not going to be 800,000. So that's inflation here, right? Because they will factor in a lot of stuff on their own reality side. So that is hard. So I don't know how it's coming down now in practical terms. Well, having said that, the issue about celebrating 34% now dropping to 93% is not significant, and there's no celebrate actually, but in the spirit of communication for national synergy. You understand? We should monitor progress reports. If the numbers are dropping, we should monitor that and then communicate hope to the people. And that is not in the bracket of deception or propaganda, but we should, as much, you see, one problem we have in this country is that the way we celebrate the negative news. And when something happens in the positive, we ignore it. That for me is not patriotic enough. That's like anti-patriotic spirit. Fine, we know things have gone really bad.
Really bad.
And then we talk about that and we hit it real hard. Okay? But at the same time, if we're having any kind of positive slide, we should also look at that as something progressive that can be improved on. Right? I think we should have that balance. Okay, fine. Now, when you talk about that, the government should do more with positive implementation of interventions, because eventually these things will drop. More so when the policies start taking full effect. You understand? Because it's like this. What I think is happening right now is like a patient going into a surgical ward, right? Now, when the surgery is performed, at that time is done, the patient will still be in severe pain, and the pain will, but the surgeon will know there's only a matter of time. You understand? In as much you are doing the right thing. So that's why I really want to give them a chance. As much as I know that there are a lot of stuff they are doing that is not right, complicating issues, but I also see that their efforts are coming up here and there to stabilize things. And really needs time to take off. So for me, it's here and there.
Okay.
As much as we knock them on the negative, we should give them a chance too.
Okay, let me take a little bit of your positivity and then let's watch how it goes. From 34% is now 33.4%. Let's just celebrate this very little win.
Not celebrate really, but
okay,
just
okay, fine. Let's
a pinch
just
of hope.
to me, honestly,
Okay.
he mentioned two things. He talked about negativity, talk about deception, talk about lies. Do you know why Nigerians are not celebrating? Even though when they see some level of positive reaction, it's because the foundation has been faulty. The foundation of deception, foundation of lies, propaganda. So that is why whatever they say is happening, who is sure that this is not paperwork? This thing we are talking about, the drop in inflation, are we sure that it's not paperwork just to get your attention? So that is why personally, it takes the grace of God for me to say of the truth that we should celebrate.
Okay, we're just trying to be positive here. Let's just.
But when there's negativity about it, you talk about it because
of course, yes.
We're
not sparing government. Because the truth is, we cannot placate the pains. The pains are there. We are all feeling the pains. Like yesterday, I got fuel I spent about 400,000 naira to get 50 liters of fuel yesterday. I mean, it was horrible. And I kept saying to myself, this scarcity, for example, has lingered for way too long. I mean, this is insane. This is insane for about a month. Insane.
They have accusing the idea of fuel subsidy removal. Otherwise, when the subsidy was removed, we actually said, it came here and said, we don't need this subsidy. Little did we know that those that were benefited are still in government. Look at how they frustrated that. Look at what, you see, when we are here, we say it as it is, correctly, and we educate people, and we tell people the implication of bad policies and bad governance. So that is the area we should look at it.
Okay, all right. I'm still going to take your part and I'm going to take his part, but at the same time, I just wish that something better would actually happen, because if we say something is 34 and is now 33.4, it's a little bit of a difference, but at least if that difference can be made per month, I think by next year it will be something positive. We'll probably see the difference in our fuel price, in our food price, but if this is reducing and we're not seeing anything out there, we're still buying them, price of this is skyrocketing and all that, then please, I think this is what we will now call paper monsters, as Mazi has said.